Welcome to Sound Advice, an hour dedicated to the world of business, including news, local updates, interesting interviews, and more. The opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or advertisers of this station.
Hi, I'm Susan Michaels.
And I'm Rick O'Brien, and this is Sound Advice.
Today we're talking with Tony Freeman from the Leo Agency. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, first of all, tell us a little bit about the Leo Agency. What's your story all about?
Kind of simple. I've spent about 26 years in marketing and public relations and moved to Seattle about 7 years ago from the East Coast after an illustrious career in public relations, and got married a couple of years ago. And my beautiful wife, Emily Freeman, former University of Washington basketball player and fifth grade school teacher at Muir Elementary, allowed me to start my own company. So
right.
With her blessing. So it was a spinoff from working for companies like the Seattle Times newspaper and manager for TNT.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been in business then?
A couple of years now,
Just
actually.
a couple of years.
Almost since being married,
Kind of came hand in
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
Huh?
You don't have to leave them McClatchy. My wife said, "Hey, honey, God's blessings, it all work out. Start your own agency. You've been doing it anyway.
All right. Well, give us an idea of,
Sure.
in general terms, what the agency does. What does that mean?
Well, good question. Well, we're a full-service advertising agency. We specialize in digital marketing, tech design, graphic design, branding, public relations, and just overall, market research and development for companies.
Okay.
And we just consult with companies and really just try to be that barometer for them on the work, in the industry.
Okay. So why should a business come to you rather than some other ad agency?
Wow, that's such a good question. We specialize in small to medium-sized business, and as you probably know, working in media, it's really expensive hiring a marketing team, people that can really do groundwork and really help you identify who your audience is and things of that nature. Bringing in an ad agency, you really don't have that problem. You're really bringing in a team to do the work for what big companies can afford. A lot of small and medium-sized businesses, that's a pretty heavy payroll. And we're able to come in and really work with budgets and really help companies kind of get that part of their business identified.
Okay, so a business would come to you. They say, I need to promote my business. And you look at their needs and try to match up what would fit for them. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah,
Okay.
Pretty much. We really try to help that business identify with their demographics and what's really best for them, who their competitors are in the marketplace and what they're really trying to, and who they're trying to go after. And we kind of help them out with that marketing research. And then once we find a direction, we help them launch, whether it be, creating a website, working with the existing website and creating mediums on it to kind of help reach their audience. So that's so loaded, and each company is so different. And we just try to really customize every campaign and every approach. And that's kind of our secret sauce, if I can use that term. Being from the South and all, we love our barbecue sauce. So.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So you cover lots of different areas as far as advertising goes. You have the traditional
Correct.
advertising. So tell us a little bit about the differences so our listeners are aware.
Wow. Well, traditional marketing is your traditional radio, newspaper, television, direct mail,
Right.
Things of that nature. And your digital marketing happens to be like, Google advertising, Facebook, Twitter, banner display. You can even throw a little email marketing in there as well to really help have more of a selective blast, so to speak. And then, again, you have your print, various broadcasts, radio, and so forth. So it's kind of being a little bit redundant, but your traditional is your traditional things that you're probably familiar with when you open your newspaper. You see ads running, and you see coupons and things of that nature, and TV ads, radio ads, and then we kind of like to say that we specialize in digital. We have a great tech team. We have a lot of great thinkers, and we're able to launch campaigns digitally for customers, whether it be through Facebook, Twitter.
And what would that be like? Because obviously we're talking about something different than cutting out a coupon from a newspaper, or are we? What does digital offer that?
Wow, digital is so scalable.
Yeah,
I mean, really it's about, and I hate to use all these different terms like search engine optimization and banner display and really creating like a window through your Facebook, which is your digital storefront on your website. So your website happens to be your digital storefront, and what we do is through that, our tech team they provide all these different ingredients to really help connect you to your audience through Facebook, through Twitter, creating links so that you could actually directly target your audience and send them emails and them just learn a little bit more about you from a digital presence. As you know today, I mean, most of your audience now, they're kind of carry around their mobile phones.
Yes.
And a lot of research is right there. If they want to go out to, a restaurant, if they hear a certain song, it's like in the good old days when I grew up, where you could, you grab a yellow pages or certain aspects of advertising. Now it's all fast and quick, like drive up ordering at a fast food restaurant. They want it now, and that's kind of where we help our audience, we help our clients kind of branch off to really be more of an option, and you got to be an option out there.
So you can reach these people who are on the go and want that fast food.
Absolutely, and it is a fast food thing now. That's kind of where it's at. It's not going back. And having been in media for the years that I have, for the past 20 plus years, I saw it go from where companies could really had a hold on things, and all of a sudden here's the internet, and just change the scope of the way people embrace their information. And we like to believe that, sure, we have a traditional approach. We can certainly, help manifest that process, but we also can help link our customers to the digital virtual world as well.
Do you find a difficulty in localizing that digital? I know that tends to be what people think. It just goes everywhere. How can I localize it?
It can, actually. You can scale, but from a local perspective, it's really about it's really about your language in your website. When I go back to that SEO, search engine optimization piece, how you code within your website. If it's regional, if it's local, if it's national, international. You can scale down to a 5-mile radius. In some cases, depending on how much you want to be direct, you can even scale down to a couple of miles away from your storefront. So, we could do all those things. And again, it's not because we're magic. Right. It's because of what's present in coding.
Well, you're kind of magic, though, aren't you?
You think? Well, I spent 8 years in the Navy, so some things are, it's certainly a spinoff, but very proud of, I'm a traditional guy, kind of groomed in traditional. So now digital certainly is kind of where things are, and you have to be ready to be, to kind of take your business there if you want to survive in this environment.
Sure.
Okay. Now, other aspects of digital. You've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, those things you mentioned. How are those all utilized for, say, mom and pop who have a store on the corner and they want to get the information out there?
Wow, I love your questions. Those are so great. I mean, it's funny, we open up, we start your Facebook page, it's just, basic, right? It's like everyone's got this thing going on, but, Facebook, they're so creative, crafty in that, now you can actually launch, campaigns from it, because it's almost like a behavioral targeted tool now. Where it's through likes, it's through what people enjoy doing, and you connect with those particular individuals through what they enjoy. So you don't have to figure it out. They're telling you, I like to go to opera. I like dining, fine dining, or I love scuba diving. So what their interests are, and what happens is you tie into that. With your campaign, and it links you to these particular individuals. It scales right into those particular audiences without you even trying. And again, you can scale down to a really small, with 5 to several mile radius, which is amazing.
That is.
It's amazing.
Oh, wow. So then you have the traditional website you mentioned. Do you have people in-house who do this work for you? Is that correct? Or do you go out and...
Well, it depends. We do. We have people in-house. Jamie Kopnick, she's amazing. We love her work. She's so creative. And she handles a big workload. And, and sometimes we do get to the point where we have spillover. But we have wonderful relationships, in the community where we could pull people in to assist. But for the most case, we have a process in place that works just wonderfully. We can handle a workload. Well, she can. Let me just not. I was speaking on her behalf, but I think she'll beat me up. But she'll probably say, no, Tony, I'm not really. But no, but she's amazing. But we do have an in-house tech design team, and they just work wonderfully.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about process. You brought that up, and a lot of times people, I would imagine, come to you, and they really don't know what they need, and that's the main challenge as far as. I have a business. I don't know what to do here. I would like to do more, but how and which direction? Are there people that come to you in that instance, and then where do you start?
Well, what we do, and this is something actually, I picked up, from working in my traditional media worlds, whether it's McClatchy or otherwise. We have a needs analysis or a CNA approach where a customer needs analysis, right? It's like a little form that we have. And we try not to go verbatim because that gets kind of boring in it. When you're in an appointment. But for the most part, we gather as much data as possible because for the most part, small to medium-sized businesses, right? That's a lot of work. I mean, and so we try to gather as much information as possible so we can go out and we can put together, if you want to call it a program for them, a direction. We don't tell them what to do. We just say, hey, this is what we were able to find out. And they kind of determine their budgets. They kind of tell us what they can do. And we work within those particular budgets. There's no strings there. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But, they have that data there, whether or not they use us. And we like to say, if we're not the right fit for you, I'll be very happy in helping those individuals find the right fit, whether it be with an agency or whether it be coming directly to a traditional like Salem Communications or McClatchy or someone, which may have a team together, which may be more identifiable with their product and services. And
I would imagine sometimes you'll have some people that are interested in doing some of the stuff themselves. Other people just would not have, they don't want to handle it. They don't want to deal with it. Do you have both type people? And you
do. You have some people that, they're really hands-on, and in a lot of cases they get to the point, it's not working for me. Things have changed and I have so many people calling me, so much going on, all this information. I need someone to help us kind of interpret it and dissect it and kind of go in a particular direction. And then on the other hand, you have people that just do not want to deal with it at all, period. They open their businesses and they're like, well, we thought the word of mouth thing was going to work and it really didn't. And, my competitor next door seems to be, blowing us out the water. And the question is why? And we're able to really go do that research and kind of take that off of their hands and say, well, pass on to us and we can take care of that for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a short break here.
Awesome.
When we come back, let's get into some specifics as far as if somebody's a business, what are maybe 2 or 3 of the things that they really need to know as far as to promote their business and try to figure out what you could do to offer them some of that help. But we're going to take a short break. Nice. We'll come right back. I'm Rick O'Brien.
And I'm Susan Michael.
And this is Sound Advice.
Sound Advice returns in a moment on Money Radio 1300 KKOL.